Good morning, everybody. I know there's nobody on right now, but they'll catch up here in a little bit.
Good morning.
We're still trying to wake up. Well, anyway, we'd like to start having these lives on a regular basis, just so we can start building a community with you guys. This seems to be a really good avenue to build a community from what we've been told. And first of all, we want to thank you all for 1,000 subscribers. We're a little bit over that now, but it's quite an accomplishment for a channel to reach 1,000 subscribers, and we just know we couldn't do it without you guys. So we just want to first and foremost say thank you right off the bat for being there for us, and hopefully we're there for you. And that's one of the reasons why we want to do these lives, is so we can be there for you. So without further ado, let's get right back into it.
So we just got back from Bisbee, Arizona, and Tombstone. So it was an excursion.
Dusty roads.
It was very dusty. It wasn't the worst camping trip we've ever had, but it wasn't the best either. However, I say a bad day camping is still better than a good day of, how does that go? A bad day
of work.
A bad day of camping is still better than a great day at work. So I'm okay with it. It was just, I forgot a couple things that we needed to bring with us. I didn't read the weather report exactly right. So that was an issue. So we weren't totally prepared. Needless to say, well, I'll let you watch the video. I don't want to give it all away because then you won't watch the video.
Well, I've already made mention that we weren't prepared for that cold weather.
Yeah, it was 29 degrees, and it was pretty cold, and it was pretty miserable when you're not prepared. If we'd have been prepared, it wouldn't have been an issue. But
hi, Chris. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning, Chris.
We will agree with your assessment there.
Yeah, the dust is one thing. I do like the drier weather out west than in the east. And I don't know. I think I'm going to go with dusty over rain any day, because rain involves, after you get home, there's a whole bunch of other stuff you have to do. And we don't have the place to like lay out wet tents or leave the rooftop tent open, and sheets and blankets and towels and wet dogs. And so I don't know. I might go with dusty over that, but you just feel kind of like dirt when you get done.
I don't know. I always feel like I'm a cake mix whenever I get back, because there's just dust everywhere. And is there a place on the planet that you don't have to deal with rain or wind or snow, and you don't have to deal with dust? I don't know.
I don't think so. Dust is here. Dust is our friend.
For now, anyway. But no, we weren't prepared for the extreme cold that we had to face. We did have a Sherpa blanket and flannel sheets, and Crystal stayed in the tent most of the night, up until about 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, whenever you came down.
It was about 6 or 6:30.
It was just before sunrise.
But I was like a cocoon. Like I was awake. I probably should have videoed, but I wasn't thinking. I was just trying to stay warm. And, but I literally just was completely encased in the sheet and the blanket.
Well, we appreciate you being here whenever you come, Chris. This is going to help us build a community, and that way we can start doing some, meetups and stuff like that whenever we go out on the road. And we do have some big news we'd like to share with you a little bit later on in the broadcast, but we have set a date. I'll leave it at that for right now. One of the things we wanted to bring to you today was what we are going to be coming up. March is a pretty lax month for us. We have a couple trail rides we want to do. We'll probably go back out with Christy again, and this time we're going to go to Superstition. If anybody's aware of the Superstition Mountains, that's a big supernatural place, I guess you would call it, kind of like Sedona. And I guess Crystal got offended by the glasses that my son bought me for Christmas.
No, I just realized they were in the background, and it probably wasn't a good idea for YouTube for a family channel.
Yeah, that's a good idea. But anyway, we're going to go to the Superstition Mountains. We've got a couple of hikes that we have planned. We're still trying to get our hiking legs back. We haven't really done any hiking since we were in Georgia?
No, when we went to Sedona that one time and tried to hike the Devil's
Yeah, but I mean, we haven't done much hiking at all since we were there in Georgia.
Come on.
So we're going to be doing a couple hikes. If there's anything you guys want to see, I mean, feel free. If you're watching this after the live, feel free to leave some comments down below. If you things that you want to see, I mean, that's why we're doing this, is basically for you. And so if there's things that you want to see us do, our charter is to do like hiking and overlanding and camping and exploring and doing things like that. So if there's a particular place you want to see, especially in Arizona, we can pretty much be anywhere in Arizona in 4 to 5 hours. So anywhere in Arizona, anywhere in New Mexico, Utah, Nevada, maybe even California. We have a trip coming up going to San Diego in May, and we're going to try to go through the Anza Borrego Desert and maybe hit Joshua Tree. Yeah. And I think we're going to try to get a
beachside.
Beachside at the Carlsbad State Park. We're going to try to get a campsite there. So that's another thing we got coming up fairly quickly. Today, since last night or Friday night was such an issue, we're going to go back out and look for a base camp again tonight or today.
And I just want to say that there were things other than the cold that have made us decide. I mean, we like the rooftop tent and it's comfortable. Our son and our dogs came with us this time, and that kind of was hard because Lulu, the bigger dog, wants to lay down and stretch out. She was very stressed sleeping in the Jeep because we couldn't get her in the tent. She doesn't know how to climb a ladder yet, which is something I want to work on just for anything. But she was very stressed out, and I don't like stressing out my dogs. And they were cooped up a lot and on leashes a lot. And I would really much rather have a base camp, a travel trailer, something where they can move around a little bit more freely, and maybe get some long leads that they can move around in our area more freely. It just doesn't seem to be fun for the dogs. And I don't like that.
Yeah, and when Michael decides to go off on his own, we're going to be, the ones to primarily take care of them. We can't always pawn them off, and I'm certainly not going to board my dogs. So that's a huge consideration. And if we have to, change the way we do things and maybe not use the rooftop tent and maybe just, go out on day excursions and check things out, or even if we just, decide we want to do it overnight, maybe do an inflatable mattress and a tent. We certainly are no strangers to tents, that's for sure. So, this is how you change the way this is the way you change your approach to doing all of these things. And certainly it may not stay that way forever, Granted, we're both getting older, and things are starting to get a little bit harder for us to do here and there. We can't quite do the things that we used to do when we were 20. And
I seem to like to be accident prone.
Yeah, we get home, she almost rips her finger off.
I cut this hand before we left, cut this hand when we got home. I got 8 left though, so I'm good.
We learned a lot of things on this trip though. We have a little tiny, small, single serve Keurig coffee pot, and we didn't think anything of it. I mean, we had our power supply And the power supply seemed to do very fine for cranking up our Traeger smoker. So we figured it would handle the coffee pot. And we have a little flash fish. I forget how big it is. It's not very big at all. And then we have the biggest jackery that we can get without going into a generator. And the one that uses solar panels. And neither one of those would run my coffee pot. And I plugged it into my inverter, a 400-watt inverter in my Jeep, and it blew the fuse. So even a small coffee pot doesn't work. And I had no other coffee. And we all know how that is.
It was
I
tragic.
love my coffee.
People, it was tragic. It was an emergency.
So we had to wait until we got to Bisbee before I could get coffee, which was probably 3 or 4 hours. And I know it's probably some of y'all are thinking, oh, why do you drink coffee? But I've been drinking coffee since I was like 6 years old. So it's just kind of like one of those habits, I guess you could call it. But today, no, we're gonna going back. I guess we like to digress a lot and get off subject and just, today we're gonna go look for a base camp. We're gonna go to a place we saw. I don't know if you follow Finding Our Someday. We saw them go to a place here in Phoenix called Little Dealer, Little Prices. And they are a Grand Design dealer, and we're going to go check them out. They are highly recommended across the board, not just from Finding Our Someday, but several other places. So we're going to go check them out today and see if we can find us a base camp. Maybe not something huge. I know we were looking at the Black Series Dominator, was it?
I think so. I'd have to see it to know which one it was, but it's the Black Series.
Yeah, and that was as a base camp, but that's just a pop-up, basically. I mean, it's a pretty heavy-duty pop-up, and it's mainly made for off-road. But we're going to try to maybe look for something like maybe an R-Pod or some kind of just a hard-side camper.
Someplace where we can leave the dogs if we have to go somewhere.
They don't have air conditioning and stuff.
Yeah, and I know of I'm on several camping websites and RV websites, so I know about the air conditioner shutting off and stuff like that, so I'm aware of that. But sometimes, like, we just wanted to go walk down and see the birds this weekend, and that would have been a very short, maybe 20-minute walk, and I didn't want to take the dogs because they're just going to bark and be crazy, because they are. And if I'd have had someplace other than the Jeep, they would have been more comfortable. Like, they haven't hardly eaten, which I don't like, and they're not drinking enough water now. And now they think they can just beg off our plate and they won't eat. But they're going to eat because I'm not feeding them anything but the dog food.
Oh, that a funny thing. The last time I bought dog food, we buy our dog food from Tractor Supply because they have a particular brand that we like called Into the Wild. And it's a good dog food. It's kind of like the Blue Buffalo, but not as expensive. But I wasn't thinking, and I order online because we're part of USAA, and we have a thing called Member Shop. So if you order stuff online, you get cash back. So I'm going and I'm just clicking through, and there's a dog food. Hey, that's got salmon, and I know Crystal likes salmon because it's so dry here and it makes their coats better. It was cat food.
So they literally ate cat food for 2 weeks. We still have a little bit left, and I'm mixing the dog food in with it.
I'm waiting for Petey to go. But it was
funny, and it didn't hurt him. I'm sure it wouldn't be good for him. It's constant diet.
Yeah, Crystal's like, the dogs haven't been going to the bathroom as much. Maybe because the cats have higher protein. And they're awful active.
It's pretty funny. But they're fine. It's just, I have noticed the difference between cat food and dog food. Cat food gives them worse breath than dog food. Just FYI, it was pretty bad.
You'd be better off to feed them raw salmon.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
if you guys got any questions about anything, I know there's only like 1 or 2 people on here right now. But if you have any questions, like I said before, leave it in the comments below, and we'll try to address it, as much as we can, as best as we can for our current knowledge at the time. And Crystal and I wanted to just point out that, this isn't the only thing that we do. We do have a couple other channels that we support. I'm a musician by life trade. I've been a musician since I've been professional since I was 13. I played in a pit orchestra for a musical theater in Vero Beach, Florida when I was 13 years old. So I started my professional career then. I have a channel called Groove and Company that is logical and easy music theory. So if you want to go check that out, it's called Groove in Co. And it's all one word. Crystal has been doing higher education financial aid. I'll describe it.
Yeah, I've been doing federal financial aid for the past 15 years or so. I've done proprietary schools, not-for-profit, and state. And I have a channel called FA Magic, and it's to help people through the financial aid process when their kids want to go to college. So it helps complete the free application for federal student aid, what to do, what to expect, what are some of the rules, just because it can be, I've had a lot of students tell me that it's scary to complete it, and it's really just basic information that everyone has. So, I just thought maybe I could make it easier for them. So I have that channel, and it's called FA Magic.
So, if you want to, it's no big deal if you don't. We're also on Rumble, all 3 channels. So if you are trying to get away from Facebook, we're also on Rumble as well, under the same branding. Not that we want you to go to Rumble, but we like it here on Facebook. On YouTube as well. And if you want to check them out, go ahead. It's no obligation. We just wanted to let you know that we are out there in other places too. And we have a cheat sheet because we wanted to make sure we talked about stuff. How frequent would we like to do these lives? We would probably like to do them once a month for now, eventually building up to maybe once a week. But for now, I think that once a month would probably be best.
And the intention is to do them when we're camping.
Yeah, like we had every intention. I scheduled this particular live because we were supposed to be out, camping, and we wanted to bring that to you there. But circumstances didn't allow that, so we are now doing that from our office
/ dining room, teeny tiny apartment.
But is there anybody out there that might, I know there's a couple people watching now, is there anybody out there that might have any questions for us? I know that we've already gone through a lot of stuff already. We've been on about, 20 minutes almost? Okay, well, we'll give you all some time to catch up on that. And if you like I said, if you got any questions, go ahead and hit us in the comments below. Anybody got any suggestions on what to look for in a base camp? Any particular brand or anything like that? I know we wanted to go to a Grand Design dealer. Grand Design is more expensive, but you get what you pay for. So thinking about that. Well, anyway, it's about time to go ahead and wrap this up. If you're just joining us now for the live, please feel free to wait a couple minutes and you can go back and watch the whole video as we will post this on our Facebook page or on our, what are we on? YouTube?
YouTube.
Hey, what's up, Chris? How you doing?
Morning, Chris.
How's it feel in Florida this morning?
That's our Camp More Bark Less friends.
Yeah,
just
so
joined us.
You need to go check out their channel. He's hilarious. And maybe you can get him to wear the dog mask again.
Yeah, That was funny.
Hint. Oh, it's warm in Florida. Yeah, it wasn't warm here. That's why we're in the office and not in
Bisbee.
Bisbee, because it was cold. Like I haven't been that cold since I was in the military.
And it wasn't even snowing.
No.
Thank God.
Well, anyway, going back to just to keep this going a little bit longer. When we were there, it was a cool place. We were at a place called Whitewater Draw, and that's where we did our free camping for the first night. They had picnic tables. They had all kinds of cool stuff there. I mean, there was bathrooms and
Yeah, and you just kind of like pull up
and camp.
and just they had like little low metal bars so that you couldn't drive off into the Whitewater Draw, but because it's a grassland for birds, but you just pull up. I just thought it was fun. It's like you just park and camp.
Yeah, and I mean you could hear. Oh my God, there was
Thousands.
Chris, you guys got sandhill cranes in Florida. This would have probably scared you. There was probably 20 or 30,000 of them in this marsh. This is where they winter.
Yeah, they winter in the marsh, and it's like we're giving away the video, but it's all right. They winter there in this grassland area, and they call it a marsh, but we're from Florida, so way more marshy. It was not as marshy as Florida, I can tell you that. It was more like a pond, but it was a grassland, and those birds sounded off all night long. It was like something out of the movie, The Birds.
Yeah, it was pretty cool though.
It was.
And every once in a while you'd hear coyotes or something like that yipping in the distance, so that was kind of neat. But this was kind of like I guess it was like a built marshland. They built this marshland for these birds.
And yes, Chris, it was free. You can only stay one night, but you just pull up and camp, and it is out in the middle of nowhere. Like you're headed towards the Mexican border.
Yeah,
and
we were only like 26 miles from Douglas.
Yeah, I mean it's out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah,
which I would go back. I would absolutely go back because I still want to go to Douglas because there's something in Douglas I want to see.
Yeah, the Gadsden Hotel in Douglas, right on the border of Agua Prieta in Mexico. Mm-hmm. Douglas is on one side, Agua Prieta is on the other side of the border, and supposedly Pancho Villa came in to Douglas and went into the Gadsden Hotel, and that's where Pancho Villa shot the whole town up in the hotel.
Yeah, on his horse.
On his horse.
It's not like he walked into the hotel. That's what I heard.
So we have yet to go back and see that. We checked Bisbee and Tombstone off of our bucket list, and we'll go ahead and tell you guys here. Tombstone was kind of a letdown. It was you had to pay for everything, even the gunfights in the street. You had to pay.
Yeah.
It was more like a matter of fact. They call it a theme park. So it was kind of, if you have that attitude and you have that understanding ahead of time, it makes a lot more sense that you understand that you're going to be paying a lot more money. You had to pay to go into Boot Hill Cemetery, which we did because I wanted to see the graves.
You had to pay for the gunfight.
You had to pay for the gunfight. It's out in the middle of the street where everybody's walking, but they kind of keep it secluded.
And I understand they have a lot of actors there.
Mm-hmm.
Like they have a shop called Miss Kitty, and the lady that works the shop every year. I don't know if it's her shop or if she's just working there because I think she was retired. So I don't know if it was hers, but she was dressed as if it was 1880s, and everybody was in period costume. But I like historic, but I like historical fact.
Okay, are you going to try to come out and visit with us, Chris? Oh, that answers my question. Well, good. Maybe we'll do a little collaboration while you're out here.
Petey, that's enough.
Petey heard a bump.
Yeah. So we would love to camp with you and Lisa and the puppers.
Yeah. Yeah, if you guys want to see some crazy dogs, go check out. Chris has got a video of his youngest giant poodle or standard poodle chasing an RC car. That's her play toy.
Yeah.
She chases an RC car, and of course, Chris has a good time doing it too.
Yeah.
So.
They're awesome.
But I think we're getting ready to wrap this up. We've been on for almost 30 minutes now, so we're going to wrap this up a little bit. We just wanted to get on today, especially today, and say thank you.
Yes, very much. Thank you
for getting us to 1,000. And it's quite an accomplishment for any channel to reach 1,000, and we are so appreciative that 1,000 of you actually like what we do. So we're very grateful, and we hope that we continue to mesmerize you with our stupidity. And we try not to bring you just everything that goes right, but some of the stuff like this weekend when this video comes out, you're going to find out what went wrong. And I think we've gone over a few of those things already.
I have to say the food was on point, even though it wasn't cooked at campsite and wound up being cooked at home, but we had prepared all the food ahead of time. It was on point. We had Frito pie last night, which is one of my favorites.
Yeah, we made chili during the week last week just so we could take it and heat it up and put it on the Fritos. We also made sausage gravy for biscuits because I found a way to cook biscuits on an open flame. So we were going to have biscuits and gravy and grits and
eggs and
all kind of stuff for breakfast. That you've seen our tricks for eggs before. We put the eggs in a water bottle. That way we can shake them up and keep them shook up. And we got scrambled eggs right there. Which
made breakfast this morning very easy, by the way. We already had biscuits and gravy and eggs.
I don't know if y'all can tell, but I don't miss many meals.
But we're going to get him hiking, and that's going to go away.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we might go do a hike this week. There's a place right up the road. If you've never been to Arizona, this is the place to be active.
Yes.
Because you can be active. This isn't like Colorado. Excuse me. When we were in Colorado, you could be active in Colorado, but this place, you can be active 24/7, 365.
Yeah. There's probably 20 trails within less than a mile of our home. And we live in Scottsdale,
and
within the city.
That mile to 2 miles out, there's probably another 1,000.
Yeah, there's just trails everywhere.
Like right up the road is McDowell Sonoran Preserve. There's miles upon miles of not just hiking trails, but they actually have a mountain bike course that you can go and you can take your mountain bike on.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So we're going to get us out hiking more and walking. Some nights we may just walk the block. And then other nights he doesn't want to walk the block, but I want to make sure we walk a lot. And there may be some nights where all we do is walk the block because it's late or whatever. But we need to go to the trails because there's plenty. It's not like there's a lot of trails around here to go walk on.
But our big announcement we're going to say for next month, we'll go ahead and give you a little hint right now. We've set a date. We'll tell you what that date is next month. And I think we'll be all excited.
Yes.
So we're going to wrap this up right now. Again, I'm sorry we weren't at camp. We had every intention of being somewhere in Bisbee, Tombstone, Douglas, wherever. There's still a couple things down there we want to do. Like we want to go to Chiricahua National Monument.
Oh, the Organ Pipe National.
Organ Pipe. We'd like to go to Karshner Caverns. And what was that other place that we saw coming through there?
There's an ostrich ranch, and there's that.
Oh, that's Picacho Peak. Picacho Peak, I'm not really too into, but I mean, it's just a mountain. But there's an ostrich ranch just outside of that, and she wants to go to that.
I want to do the ostrich ranch.
She wants to go pet the ostriches. But with that, we're going to say farewell till next month. We have videos starting next Friday, I think, coming out. Yeah, they're going to start scheduling for coming out next Friday. And then we're going to try to keep up with that again. So thank you again. We do appreciate it.
Chris, we look forward to hearing from you at Camp More Bark Less and figure out a work schedule for the fall. And maybe we can go do some stuff together.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll work. I would love to get together with some of you guys and go out and go camping and hiking and trail riding and whatever. That's one thing we're going to be doing probably this month is we're going to be doing another trail ride with Christy, hopefully, if our schedules match up. She's now looking for some way to go out and go trail riding and stuff like that. So we look forward to seeing you guys again next month. We look forward to seeing you guys on the road. Don't feel bad to hit us up. We're on Instagram. We're on Facebook. We're on Rumble.
If you're in Arizona,
yeah,
let us know. We could meet up and go camping somewhere.
Anywhere near the Phoenix metro area, we'll be glad to come meet with you and go camping with you or whatever.
Hang out, cook some food.
Yeah. I love to eat.
We love some food.
Yep. And I have that cool little tiny Traeger smoker now, so we can go down.
Yeah, we can do it up.
All right, Chris, we'll talk to you later. And everybody else, we'll talk to you guys later, too. We've been on a little over 30 minutes, so this is probably long enough for your patience. I know it's long enough for my patience. So we'll see you again soon. And until next time,
bye.
Bye.
Happy trails.